there's a lot of noise when it comes to buying a house, right? Especially in today's market. So today we're with Shelby, and he's gonna walk us through a proper mindset when it comes to such a move, so we can move forward with clarity and confidence. Is that right?
I love that. I think there's a lot of consumer confidence all built around interest rate, when really it should come down to financially, can you afford the home? So looking at payment versus interest rate. If you can afford the payment, right now is a great time to buy the home. And then financially, what's your out of pocket? Are you comfortable with what money you're going to be out of pocket? And if you look at those two things and you're comfortable with the rate, you're comfortable with the payment, you're comfortable with out of pocket, at that point it's a great time to purchase right now.
That's amazing. So let's talk about the two big myths that stops people from making a move. So what are those typical wrong way of thinking when it comes to such a move?
I think the number one thing we get a lot of is that people are worried about their credit. They're worried about the pre-approval is going to affect them. In all reality, a hard inquiry from a mortgage company may affect you 2 to 3 points at the most. So one of the things is you do want to get with a lender that is going to pull your credit. They're going to look it over everything, and that when they do pull your credit, you're going to know that you are good to go or you're not. So I think one of the biggest myths that we come up with is people thinking that pulling your credit is going to affect you 20, 30, 40 points. In all reality, it's only 2 to 3 points, and it lets you know exactly where you are.
That's awesome. That's great. You guys taking notes? All right, another question. So what should someone actually do in the next 30 days, assuming they want to get ready for making a move? How would you articulate that? What is a good way of approaching this?
A good strategy point. I think no matter what, if you're thinking about buying a home in the next 30 days, or you're thinking about buying a home in the next year, the first step, if you're thinking about purchasing a home, is always to get with a bank. Like we said earlier, have them pull your credit, have them look over your credit, have them look over your income. There's no obligation to this. There's no cost to clients from our bank. We don't charge you anything to look over it, to do the pre-approval. The pre-approval is also good for 120 days. So when we look at this, there's no obligation, there's no cost to them, and we're gonna really give them an idea of what they can look at. If there's anything that comes up during the process, we can go over that with them. I always say we never decline a buyer. When they come to us, we're always gonna get them approved. We're always gonna show them the way to get to where they need to be.
That's awesome. Something really important I'd like you to tap into, which is the opportunity cost, because a lot of people think like this is the time you wait. But then none two financial situations alike, right? So you need to account for what type of a market we're in and what kind of a situation I personally am in, right?
Right.
So what is a good way of looking at it, and how would you look into the opportunity cost versus the upside potential and the downside risk?
Right. I think no matter what, you're not buying stocks when the stocks are at the full highest potential of what that stock value is. You're looking for a down market to get a good deal. Right now, you have less buyers in the market because of the interest rate environment that we're in. So right now, to me, is one of the best times to buy. And the reason for that is that you're able to go into a setting where there's not a ton of traffic, there's not a ton of buyers wanting the same home, and you're able to get a deal. You're able to get lower cost on price. You're able to negotiate closing costs from a builder-seller standpoint. And that's valuable. That's a big value add. I think the other thing is that if you wait in the next, year to year and a half, everybody, when rates do come down, everybody's going to be in the market, and you're going to pay 10 to 15% more, which can escalate to $20,000 to $30,000 more for a home, when all you're doing is making sure you qualify for the payment, making sure you can qualify for the out of pocket, and then let's refinance you later and save you that money of what it would have cost you later.
So it seems like it's more like you have to have a proper time frame applied to your approach, so you know what this actually means, because the real estate is not something you buy in today and sell tomorrow.
Right.
So it's more like a
long term.
Yeah. And if you know what kind of a lifestyle you're going for, what type of an architecture you need, what type of a house you're going for, it's a great opportunity because of what you just mentioned, the market that we're in. Yeah. And you literally can build the house that you desire, right?
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for your friends, your family, whoever is in the market thinking of such a move?
I think number one is, if you're thinking about buying a home, go ahead and let the bank go over the numbers with you. Get pre-approved by a local bank that can tell you exactly where you sit, where your payments are in the price range that you want to be in. Make sure you're comfortable with the payment. Make sure you're comfortable with the out-of-pocket. And then for my family and friends, I'm going to tell them right now is the best time to buy. You don't buy when everybody's in the market and the interest rates are super low and you're paying 20 to 15% more for the home.